because obviously the second half, they had 0 yards total offense until that last drive. How did that happen? How did you guys change so much there in the second half?
We just came in with a good game plan, stuck to our assignments, had great eyes in the second half. We missed a couple of plays in the first half, but did our assignments and executed very well in the second half.
First 2 plays of the second half were tackles for loss. Did that kind of set a tone or show you something that might work?
I think so. Obviously, the first drive of the second half is always a big one. So coming out there and us being able to get 2 tackles for losses, getting in the backfield, shows that we can execute well and get after them a little bit.
All right. And as a senior, to win this thing, what does that mean to you?
Oh, it's a great feeling. It's something you can tell generations of your family. That you're going to the White House, that you got to meet the president. So it's a great feeling.
And has he come from New Jersey? Did Army was ever on the radar for you?
Yes, sir. They actually offered me scholarship while I was on my visit at Air Force.
I'm sorry.
They offered me a scholarship when I was on my visit at Air Force.
While you were on the visit?
Yes, sir. Yeah, on Saturday night, 2 days, Saturday, Sunday.
What was that decision like?
I had committed to Air Force the next day. I think when I came out here and what I saw, I loved the scenery. Culture sounded like somewhere I wanted to be, and just the opportunities that the academy offered. It's too hard to pass up.
And defensively things changed in the second half. So did offense too. You guys finally sustained some drives. What was the key, do you think, to getting that?
I think in the first half we were just shooting ourselves in the foot. I think we were stopping ourselves. I don't think they really did anything, and at least in a couple of drives that they were stopping us. I think we had some plays where some missed passes or whatever the case may be. I just think we tried to focus on what we can control, move on from the first half, and then just play our game, make less mistakes. So.
What was it like for you to have something like this to celebrate?
It's a great feeling. These last 2 years that we played in have been tough games, and so to be able to come out with victory this time is unbelievable feeling. Like TD said, we would tell generations of family about this.
Brad, I guess I'll just jump to you. What do you guys finally, it took a while to get the running game going. Did you kind of anticipate that would be the case just because you played in so many academy games and that's just usually the way it's going to go?
The service academy games, they're always tough to run the ball. Obviously, we run the same offense, so they're well prepared for it. But Coach Thies and Coach Calhoun, they did a great job with game planning and just knowing what fronts they were going to give us and what the play calls were going to be that were best.
And so on this day, you go for 1,000 yards, you become bowl eligible, and you win the Commander-in-Chief's Trophy. How's this day ranked for you?
This is definitely up there as one of the best days. Commander-in-Chief, this is the first time that we've all been able to accomplish that, and it's a great feeling, and very excited for the team and the younger guys that were able to accomplish it as well.
Yeah. Can any of you, what kind of void was there that you guys hadn't won that in your time at the academy?
I think it was a huge void. It's one of the #1 goals that we have every year, and to not have it, especially when it's kind of been the Air Force tradition to have the Commander-in-Chief Trophy, to not have it our entire time here, it was definitely hurtful, and we really wanted it.
Coach, quick question for you. Kind of similar to what was asked before, but after being on the opposite end of this game last year, how did it feel coming out? And among getting the Commander-in-Chief Trophy, getting bowl eligible, just getting the victory in an environment like this, what did it feel like?
Yeah, it's we've had some fantastic games. I think you look at Service Academy games often over the years. They're one possession games, and the resolve of our guys. And I commend Army too. They played exceptionally hard, but our guys, just the determination of, especially our seniors. And hopefully, like Brad said, you hope the younger guys are able to learn and grow from this too. But our guys, our defense truly, the last 35 minutes of the game was absolutely extraordinary. And then offense, I'm telling you, there were a bunch of key contributors. This guy should bring it. And Zeke played that way, and more importantly, he led that way.
After the interception late in the first half, to get that stop, especially knowing they were getting the ball coming out, how big was that part of the game?
Yeah, it was. Because it's 7-3 game. And like you said, they're probably about 4 minutes left in the second quarter, somewhere around there, and they are going to have the ball. So, to start the second half. So, yeah, that was huge. Yet I'll tell you this. golly, man, when you're a shooter in basketball, you keep shooting. When you're a guy that's going to throw strikes, you throw strikes. And Zeke, that's exactly what he did, man. He threw some fantastic balls. We had good protection, and certainly David made some key grabs, hard grabs too.
And then defensively, with the way you played in the second half, were there scheme changes, or was it just a matter of winning one-on-ones?
No, I think probably it was more winning one-on-ones. You know, we just didn't slide. I think we were able to disengage from blocks and stay more square, and we tackled a little bit better too. And you mentioned it. I mean, the minus yardage plays that we generate, and just guys seeing things a little more instantly. Our guys did that, especially in the open field.
For any of the players, again, kind of going back, last year maybe you didn't get to experience this game the same way you get to do now, especially coming off of this victory. Can you just tell me, what do you feel like might stick with you moving forward, other than just the result?
Making the plays when it counts. I think last year we were like 1 or 2 plays away from winning the game. So I think this year, whether it was getting the first down or the defense coming over to stop, I think we just made that one extra play that was able to push us forward.
And Coach Ken Kraetzer, Cam Vets Media. When you had the first and goal at the 1 late, and you had a couple of penalties, Army made a couple of plays, gave Army a little bit of momentum. Were you concerned at that point about what had happened, not punching in that touchdown?
Clearly, you want to make it a touchdown because now it's a 2-score game, possibly, with a chance maybe to go up by 10 points if you convert the extra point. You have first and goal on the 1. Now, it was loud. There are some circumstances that way, but we'll learn from it. I mean, our guys are pretty fast. They grow in a hurry, and again, we got a couple of guys up there that they aren't seniors, and if there are other ways that can help them rather than thinking solely they hear a Caden's voice, and they'll develop that.
What was the thinking on that play on the 3rd and 16? To run Brad as opposed to taking a shot at the end zone. I realize Brad can break runs, but the percentages there say touchdown, you're going to need to put the ball in the air. Why not go that way?
Well, I think, at that point, what it was is we thought that the safeties would be deep enough that we might be able to spring the box and get him on top of the safety. And then when it didn't work that way, we were in a position, I think, to be able to hit the ball between the uprights.
And was there anything, you had a couple timeouts you had to burn because of substitution issues?
Yeah, we got to get that fixed. I mean, part of that is that maybe not playing for a couple of weeks. Maybe. We got to be better, and that starts with us. And our guys laid it on the line. I mean, the way they've practiced these last 2 weeks, I'll tell you, some years you have a bye week in various parts as a coach, and you think, all right, how's this bye week going to go? These guys last Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, the bye week. They're ready to play. They turned right around and did it again this week. I mean, these players, this is an awesome group to work with. And I think some of them, on my left and my right, I think they're just now truly starting to discover how much leadership aptitude they have too. And that's natural. But we put these guys in, some very intense situations that require a great deal of poise and their maturity. And I don't know, I truly, I say this, yet I couldn't be more adamant. I want to see what these guys are doing here in about 15, 20, 25 years, whatever that is. I mean, these are the guys that you feel blessed to be able to coach and guys that you love to have as teammates too.
What's it mean to you to have them experience this, winning this trophy?
Well, I mean, you just know how hard they work, not only during the season, but you go all the way back to January, and these guys have accomplished so much. I mean, truly, they're part of a class. They've had, since they've been here, they've had an 11-win season, they've had a 10-win season. They've been so competitive in every single Service Academy game. It's neat for them to have a year where they win both.
Coach, just ask you and your players, after the 2 losses to Army 2020 at Mikey Stadium and last year, pointing towards this game, but now winning the Commander-in-Chief Trophy and going to the White House. How did your players kind of approach this game?
Well, their maturity. I mean, I think our guys realize there are going to be ups and downs during the course of the game. There's going to be adversity, but you keep fighting. We certainly did that last year too. We were down 14-3. You think about it late in that 3rd quarter, and they just kept hanging in there and making plays and battled back. And this year they did the same thing. And certainly we'll have to do that in these next 3 games as we finish out the regular season.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. All right.